Hey, so this was a video that was requested on a topic called the grand finale. The grand finale is another name for an ending of a narcissistic relationship, regardless of who ended it. So all narcissistic relationships go in this cycle, right? There's this idealize, this devalue, this discard, and it goes round and round. Sometimes the relationship, like mine, did not have an obvious devalue stage. There was no name calling. There was no obvious gaslighting. There was no these emotional highs and lows. My relationships really went from fairy tale to Lifetime TV movie like that. So once I uncovered that they both had double lives and they were not at all who they pretended to be. So the grand finale, it's a culmination of, it's when everything hits the fan. It's when all of the lies, all of the cheating, all of the deception, all of the truth, actually, I shouldn't say all of it because you'll never know. The odds are you will never know the full truth. A good chunk of the truth, enough of the truth, comes to the surface that is just absolutely crazy. Again, I kind of refer to this as the Lifetime TV movie part of the relationship because it's, when you're going through it, and even people that are watching you go through this, they're thinking, this doesn't happen to people. Like, this is so crazy. What is really going on here? Especially if you're dating or you're in a relationship with a covert narcissist who's incredibly charming. People probably really like them. They probably really trust them. So they're probably going to think that you're exaggerating, or they're going to find it really hard to believe that this is really indeed happening. So it's really how I look at it, how the difference kind of between the grand finale and like a normal breakup with a narcissist. A normal breakup period in a narcissistic relationship is where the narcissist gets caught for some bad behavior. Let's say he gets caught cheating. He's doing, the mask slips, right? You catch him cheating. He's not the world's best husband. He's in fact a cheating, lying rat, right? He's been running around for a long time, and so this behavior comes to the surface. The mask slips, and now he's trying to do damage control, right? So he's denying it at first, then he's minimizing it, then he's deflecting it, he's blaming you, he's blaming the other woman, he's blaming drugs, he's blaming alcohol, he's blaming stress at work, he's blaming the kids, and so on and so on and so on. And odds are you've heard all these excuses before if you've been with them for any length of time and the mask has slipped before. The difference with the grand finale is they know that the gig is up. Something has happened. You've stumbled across their double life. Somebody's brought their double life up to you. Something major has happened, and the mask hasn't just slipped, it's completely fallen off. So now they're really not trying to do damage control anymore. You're seeing them in all of their horrible glory. You're seeing that lack of remorse, that lack of empathy. The lying, the cheating, the stealing, all of it all at once. It's almost like looking straight into the sun. It's like just too much. It's too unreal. And victims, there's other things that go along with this. There's oftentimes a smear campaign, which is always common in the narcissistic relationship cycle. It allows them to maintain their social status. It allows them to maintain their public identity. Especially if you're with a covert narcissist who's incredibly charming, they're banking on that public identity. That's how they're getting their ego fed. They need to be that youth leader at their church. They need to be the PTA mom. They need to be the world's best grandma or the world's best parent or the best volunteer. They get their ego fed from coming across as this amazing human being. Look at Bill Cosby. Look at Scott Peterson. These people are perfect examples of this, right? So if that goes away, then they are pushed into a corner and they become very erratic. They become very unpredictable. Victims are at the greatest risk of danger when they go to leave. So even if they haven't had a past history of violence with the narcissist, their behavior is totally erratic. Their past behavior, they could be cool, calm, and collect Scott Peterson, right? Could be no history of trouble with the law, no history of conduct disorders, no history of spousal abuse, and then he's crossed, everything starts coming out. He can't do damage control. He's backed into a corner. The only solution is to lash out. He takes that mask off and he kills his wife and dumps her body, and the body, his pregnant wife, dumps them in the river like they're garbage. And then he acts like nothing happened. So that's really the kind of person that you're dealing with. Even though you might not have ever seen that side of them, they are totally unpredictable. I always encourage people to just really, you know, hope for the best, but plan for the worst when it comes to a narcissist, because you just don't know what they are capable of. You really, really, really don't. So it's, you know, smear campaigns not uncommon. Flying monkeys are not uncommon. That's when the narcissist recruits, you know, other people to start attacking the victim. It can be friends, family, coworkers. It can be total strangers. It can be his new source of supply. So again, all victims are referred to as supply. We all supply the narcissist with whatever he or she's looking for in the moment. It's normally some form of food, clothing, sex, shelter, public image, status, money. Once they drain that one victim of whatever that victim can provide, that's when they move on to the next one. So, and this is again why you also have hoovering. I will link to the video below. I've actually done a few of them. So if you want to look in my video list, you can see a few different videos on hoovering. I recommend you watch all of them, because it's how victims get sucked back in. And it's really, really, really critical that you prepare yourself for hoovering, you plan for it. It probably will happen to you. So, you know, the grand finale, here's an example of a grand finale at work. So I knew a woman, and she was married to this guy. They'd been married for about 15 years. He'd had a history of cheating on her. There was always an excuse. The other woman was always throwing themselves at him. I guess he was just, you know, that amazing. I knew this man. He was icky. He was a total just cheeseball. Total like overt narcissist. Like, he was the kind of guy, he was this short little guy. He wore, you know, these high-end designer shoes with heels. And, you know, he had his hair dyed. I think he even had like hair plugs, and he was just so cheesy. Well, and he'd hit on everybody. If his wife wasn't around, he hit on me several times. It was just disgusting. And so she'd been putting up with this cheating behavior for a long time. Well, so she had finally accused him. Their last time that they were in therapy, they had agreed if she ever, in order to win back her trust, he had agreed if she ever had suspicions that he was cheating again, that he would get a lie detector test. Well, okay, fast forward a couple years. She thinks he's cheating again. And he's being very obvious about it. He's like texting all the time. He's hiding his phone. You know, there's no real empathy or remorse, or just it's that level of entitlement. Like, if I want to cheat, I should cheat. You know, get over it kind of attitude. So he takes a lie detector test, and guess what? He passes it. Not unusual, right? Narcissists don't process emotions the same way we do, and they lie all the time. So of course they're going to pass a lie detector test, because it's not like they have to change their behavior. So their baseline, you know, readings for pulse and heart rate and all these things are not changing. So he passes the lie detector test. Kind of come to find out, this other woman, they get a phone call one night. And he has since moved out of the house. They're still going through counseling. Now he's playing like he's the wounded victim. She's not trusting him. He's so offended. He's so hurt. This is what they do. And they get a phone call from this woman. He answers the phone. The woman says that she's pregnant. And so he tells this woman, you know, his wife, oh my God, this woman showed up. She was pregnant. I had a one-night stand. We were separated. So really I guess that's okay. And, but it was one night. She means nothing to me. This other woman wanted to have this baby. He's asking this woman, you know, his wife, how do you feel about this? And she does all this searching, goes through all this counseling, decides, okay, they're going to stay married. They're going to work through this. Well, fast forward some more. She decides, of course, that she wants to talk to this woman. Then she finds out that, this woman, she wants to talk to her. The woman won't answer the phone, but she will text her. So they start texting back and forth. This woman confirms everything that her husband has been saying. Yes, she threw herself at him. Yes, it was only one time. Yes, they're no longer seeing each other. Yes, he is so in love with her. She wishes she could be the wife, blah, blah, blah. Well, then somehow it comes out that this woman finds out who this other woman is. They end up meeting for lunch. Of course, it turns out she hasn't really been texting this other woman. She's in fact been texting her husband, who had a throwaway phone that he got at Walmart, like a Go phone. And so she'd been texting him the whole time. So he'd been making all of this stuff up, and he's been lying to her. And so then the other woman, they both don't know what to do. This other woman's pregnant. The wife is like, you know what, I'm just done. I am just done. And so the other woman had also told the wife, she'd said, well, the only reason he was you know, stringing her along and allowing her to think that they were going to be happily ever after was so he didn't get screwed over in the divorce. So of course he's telling his girlfriend things are over with the wife. He's telling the wife things are over with the girlfriend. The reality is he's sleeping with both of them. He's got the girlfriend pregnant. He's actually living with the girlfriend. But of course hadn't told the wife this. So now all of this nonsense starts coming to the surface. The wife is just horrified. I mean, because this doesn't happen, right? Like, this is a Lifetime TV movie. And so after their divorce was very quick. She was totally over it. He marries his girlfriend like a day later, and then takes down all of the wife's pictures and everything off of Facebook, puts up all of the girlfriend's stuff. So, you know, again, that's not uncommon, and that's what they'll do. And then to add insult to injury, they're gonna be presenting this persona, this facade of, look how happy I am now, right? And other people who have heard this smear campaign of how awful the wife was, right? Because that's what he's doing. Because he can't take the heat, because nobody's gonna like him if he's like, yeah, you know, I was married and I had a girlfriend and I was playing both of them. He's never gonna tell that story. So the wife is gonna be some form of, you know, lying, cheating, stealing, crazy, bipolar, addict, alcoholic, bad parent, neglectful spouse, right? And so people are posting on his Facebook account, I'm so happy for you now that you finally found love, blah, 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 such a cute couple, so in love. And they're gonna have all these pictures of themselves showing like, we're so happy, we're so in love. And of course this is a big mind fuck to the victim, because she's like, oh my God, what just happened? And it's not like he's gonna go be happy with somebody else. And I went through so much with him, but now he's gonna go be happy with somebody else. But the reality is they're not. That relationship's gonna run the exact same cycle, because these people don't change, they just get worse with time. So that's an example of a grand finale. So it's just all of this craziness that comes down the pike all at once. And the victim probably I know for me, when this happened to me, I started feeling like, you know, you really see that lack of empathy, that lack of remorse, and it's absolutely terrifying, because it makes it crystal clear that you do not know who you've been sharing a bed with. And this person's totally unpredictable. They could possibly be violent. You just have no idea, because their lack of regard, they just do not care at all about you, about your feelings, about your life, about the relationship, any of it. It's terrifying when that happens. So hang in there. If you are experiencing a grand finale, know that you are not alone. This happens to probably the vast majority of people. If you want some support, if you want to just talk, you want somebody just to listen, you can find us on Facebook. I have a support group there. It's down below. It's called Narcissist Support. My website's also narcissistsupport.com. And again, if you have any ideas, like questions, comments, concerns, frustrations, ideas for videos, I do request videos, let me know. I'll see what I can do. I don't have all the answers, but I will do my best to answer your questions. If I don't know the answers, I will try to do some homework and get you the best answer possible. Okay? So take care, and I will see you soon. Love you guys. Hang in there, okay? Bye.